Hello YouTube. The topic for today is maritime cybersecurity. So let's start with the advantages and disadvantages of using internet on board ships. So firstly the advantages. Firstly, we can get updated with the current affairs. You can watch the news, you can know what is going on in the world, what is going on in your hometown, your country. All that you can get updated with. And second one is managing finances. So when suppose say you have some business going on in your home, so you need to look at the finances. You can do that. Then you can always attend to emergencies at home. You can video call your family, and you can refer to digital manuals. You can refer to the internet if you have some problems in your work. So more than the advantages, we have disadvantages here. Firstly, it will affect the onboard social life. Your social life will be a mess, because what happens is that after your work time, when you're during your rest hours, you don't socialize with the people on board. You always stick to the internet. You don't mingle with your crew, and that will affect the social life. And secondly, there will be some kind of arguments. Nowadays the companies have some kind of access control to limit the internet usage on board, and most importantly, it will affect your rest hours. We know that rest hour is a precious thing on board, and during your rush hours you have to rest. And if you use internet, if you go on watching videos and all that, it will affect your sleep and you will get tired. And another important point is distraction. See, if you have internet, you will frequently call your family, and you will get to know everything what is going on there, and that will be a kind of distraction, and you cannot concentrate on your work properly. So because of the digitalization of maritime industry, we got some vulnerabilities and risk related to technology, and that is why we need cybersecurity. So what is this cybersecurity? It basically techniques of protecting computers, networks, programs and data from unauthorized access or attacks that are aimed for exploitation. Basically we are protecting our data, our network, computers and all that from the attackers. So next we'll discuss about the threats to the maritime industry. Let's see who are going to attack us. So first one is activist. Activists, they cause reputational damages, disruption of operations, normal operations, etc. Then criminals main motive is financial gain, commercial industrial espionage. Then opportunists break through cybersecurity defenses. They do it for fun mostly. Then state sponsored organizations and terrorists, they do it for mainly political gain, for disruption of economies, and they do it on large scale. Types of cyber attack. There are two types of cyber attack: untargeted attack and targeted attack. Untargeted means a victim is randomly chosen. Basically, they fall into the laid down trap. And targeted attack means a ship or a company is specifically chosen, and they will have a particular objective. So let's see what are the untargeted attacks. Firstly, the malware. Malware is a malicious software which is designed to access or damage a computer without the knowledge of the owner. Basically, these are viruses, trojans, rootkits, worms, spyware, crimeware, adware. These are the types of malware. The next one is social engineering. It's a non-technical method. It's a psychological manipulation. The best example is you get a friend request in Facebook. Might be a girl or a boy. It's a fake account. It might be a fake account, and you will start chatting with him, and she will extract the details out of you, the company in which you work, your personal details and all that, and you will be manipulated with it. You will be blackmailed, and you will be forced to give critical information related to a ship or company. That is social engineering. So the next type is called phishing. As you can see, the cyber attacker will throw a bait, and you'll fall for it. So basically what it does is the hacker will send random emails with the link to the random targets, and when you click on that link, you download some kind of virus, and they will damage your data. Next one is water holding. Water holding means establishing fake websites, compromising a genuine one to exploit the visitors. Basically, the hacker, he will create a website. It will look similar to the original one, and you will think, and maybe you will enter your username, password, and the hacker will be getting all that. Now we will see the types of targeted attacks. First one is brute force. Brute force basically means trying out different passwords and eventually guessing the correct one. We all do that, right? So next one is spear phishing. Spear phishing is similar to the phishing in the untargeted attack, The only exception is that the here a particular individual is targeted or a particular email is targeted. In that email the link is sent, and when that individual click on that link, his system is damaged. Then the another one is subverting the supply chain, basically attacking a company or ship by compromising equipment and software that are being delivered to them. Suppose there is some you need to have some kind of software update in one of your system on board, and basically you get it in a pen drive, and suppose that pen drive is replaced with some virus or some manipulated data, and then your system is damaged. That is called subverting the supply chain. And the next topic is stages of a cyber attack. The attack takes place in four different stages. The first one is reconnaissance. Basically, it's gaining of information. It might be through social media sites, different publications, magazines, and all that. Basically, the hacker will extract the vulnerabilities and risk in their system. They will study it. The next one is delivery. Delivery means after studying all this, they will gain access to the company and chip systems, and basically it will be by sending emails, USB medias. So the next stage is breaching. They can breach the network using the weakest link, and they can modify the data, or they can do unauthorized access of the data of critical informations like passenger list or cargo manifest and all that. Or they can take over the machinery remotely. And the effect of the cyber attack is the last stage, basically unauthorized access, manipulation of data, denial of service, disruption of normal operations. All these are the effects of the cyber attack. And here is a case study of the vanishing containers in the port of Antwerp. It happened in 2011. It was a cyber attack. What happened is that a Dutch-based trafficking group hid cocaine and heroin among the cargoes which were shipped in containers from South America. The organized crime group used hackers to infiltrate computer networks in two companies operating in the port of Antwerp. The breach allowed hackers to access the location and security details of the containers, which means that the traffickers could send in lorry drivers to steal the cargo before the owner arrived. So that's what happened. So the attack was set in a number of stages. The first stage was malicious files were emailed to company staff. So basically the data was remotely accessed. When the breach was discovered, firewall installed and it prevented further attacks. Hackers broke into the premises and they fitted keylogging devices onto their servers. And this gave them wireless access to the company systems, and the company is not even aware of the breach because they have already installed the firewall. And the workers eventually realized the containers were disappearing without any explanation. And this continued for 2 years until it was stopped by the Dutch police in 2011. And this was the first major cyber attack in the shipping industry. And at last we will discuss about the protection and detection measures. How will we protect our systems? There are two ways of doing this. Firstly, technical protection measures. It means it focuses on technical side. And the second one is procedural protection measures. It focuses on how the personnel use on-board systems. Now, technical protection measures. Basically, first one is control over network ports. There should be an access list of authorized users who are allowed to enter the control network. This can prevent unauthorized access to ship's network. Basically, in critical areas of the ship, nobody should be allowed to enter. Unauthorized personnel should not be allowed to enter. Then, configuration of network firewall. Uncontrolled networks like the private internet access for the crew should be separated from the control networks which are critical to the operation of the ship. And use of updated antivirus software. These should be provided by the company. The next one is physical security. The safety critical equipment and cables should be protected from unauthorized access. That should be done. And the next one is detection, blocking and alerts. There are two types of it. Intrusion detection system and intrusion prevention system must be incorporated with the firewall on board. Basically, these systems give out alarms when there is a detection or intrusion. Then coming to procedural protection measures, first one is access to visitors. See, there are different visitors on board like authorities, technicians, agent, port officers, etc. And they should be restricted to computer access while on board. If they need to use, they have to use their own computers. That is the safest option. And removable media blockers USB blockers to be used wherever necessary. And remote access. Clear guidelines should establish who has permission to access, when they can access, and what they can access. That should be given as guidelines wherever a computer is there. Now coming to equipment disposal, including data destruction. Now, if you have a old laptop which contain critical data, no matter how much you have deleted or formatted it, anyone can retrieve your old data using some softwares. So those confidential items must be given back to the company for safe disposal. The company should have a method to properly destroy the outdated equipment's data so that the data cannot be retrieved from it. And finally, these are the latest developments. And in 2017, IMO imposes cybersecurity on ship ISM. So IMO has given ship owners and managers until 2021 to incorporate cyber risk management into ship safety. And in 2018 March, Lloyd's Register acquired cybersecurity specialist. Lloyd's Register has acquired cybersecurity specialist Latitude, which employs 140 plus cybersecurity specialists globally.